calling in. My name is Fabs, Fabiola, whatever you prefer, but I am with PicMonkey. So I have been working at PicMonkey for about 5 years and I run social here at PicMonkey. And we're super excited because today Sunny is going to be doing an awesome tutorial. We have obviously if you use PicMonkey, you know PicMonkey is used for so many different use cases, and really you can do anything and so many things with it. So we love to see like really creative ways people use it. And Sunny caught my eye because she uses it in such a creative way to do some like digital home staging and basically stage a room of a home with just PicMonkey, which is absolutely incredible. And we're so excited to learn from you today. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna go away and I'm gonna let Sunny show us what she knows. And if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to unmute yourself or you can put it in the chat box. I'll be monitoring that. But she's gonna give us a really awesome tutorial of how she creates some magic. So Sunny, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sunny Amirpour, and I've been doing interior styling for not a crazy long time, but my husband and I own rental properties, so I have been using it for my own purposes. And then as of this year, in the pandemic, being stuck at home, I have been doing remote digital styling for people that follow my Instagram page or for clients. And it's just been really helpful to have a tool like PicMonkey. I can use Photoshop, but I find myself going into PicMonkey constantly. It's just so easy and it's just really simple in terms of, pulling all the elements I need to pull together in a really quick, easy, and like fun way. So I want to show that. And I'm really excited and like passionate about showing other people and how they're able to do this. Now, I do want to share my screen with you. And today I'm going to start with a space that we're going to make over. Okay, can I share screen now, Fabs?
Yep, you should be able to.
Great, so let me do that and let's share. How does that look? You can see my PicMonkey Hub page.
Yeah, looks great.
Super. All right, let me move that down. Or maybe I want that open so I can see what I'm showing to you guys as well. All right, so here is the PicMonkey Hub, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create new, and the image that I'm going to pick today is an image that Fabs sent me of her living room. It's already a lovely space, so I feel like I can do much more difficult spaces and messy spaces, but Fabs is just so neat and her space is so great. I thought it was a great way to show you in sort of like a beginner stage. So if you're looking at this and thinking, what are you going to do with this, Sunny? Yeah, I know, it's so nice already. But what I want to do is really warm the space up and show her what it would look like with a curtain. And when I'm looking at this as someone who is looking at it from an outside point of view, first things first, I look at scale of the space. So what I want to do is change out this smaller storage space right here for something bigger so that it's a little bit bigger than the TV. And then, like I said, I definitely want to add curtains. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you maybe the after. Do you want me to do that, Fabs? You want to see this? So this is the before. I'm going to show you the after, and then I'll give you a play-by-play of how I went about achieving that. So
yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. Give us the sneak peek of what we're creating.
Awesome. So Fab's place, and it's going to be, here is one with, whoops, that's me just erasing. So there we go. All right, Fabs. So this,
oh my gosh,
final image. I'm going to show you the before next to it. So if you can see that.
Wow, I think I hate my living room now.
No, are you kidding? So here it is, not feeling as warm. And when I'm staging a space to either rent out one of our properties or to sell a space, we are looking to warm it up. You want people to come in and feel like, oh, okay, this is what it would look like with curtains. And if I'm sending something to a client, I want to show them why I would like the curtains hung this way instead of too close to the window. And so this is a great visual representation of what a room could look like. And this, creating these layers is super easy in PicMonkey. So I do want to show you that, and I'm going to start with exactly how I would start here. So I downloaded this. I had already saved this to my computer. So I went to photos and videos and I just added photo or video, and that's what I did. So I added that through the computer. So here's the image now. And the first thing, like I said, I like to look at the scale of some of these things. So what I'm going to do is add another photo that I had downloaded from the internet. For sake of saving time, I've already downloaded this. So I'm going to bring this in, and you're going to think, wow, how is she going to put that in there? Easiest thing ever is to remove the background using the button on the image tools right here. So I remove the background, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it, and using the flip horizontal. So I did that. And if you notice, it thought that some of the area here was the background. So it removed that for me. I don't want to remove that. I'm going to go back to the erase tool in the image tools area, and I'm going to fill. So instead of erasing, I'm going to fill that area in so that it doesn't mix that up. There we go. There's a couple of spaces. You can also choose to bring back any of the other parts, but I don't want that. I still want the background cleared. So apply that. I'm going to make that smaller. I'm going to move it here. No, that's still too big. So I think about the scale. It does take a bit of work in terms of thinking about your horizontal lines and your horizon and which angle things are going into, but that will come intuitively once you start working with it. So I'm going to move this back, and you're thinking, well, how is it going to fit behind this table? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in nice and close, and you see how it's sitting over the table? Again, the erase tool is my favorite thing. I'm going to go erase. Maybe I'll make it a little bit smaller in size. And I'm just going to erase this area. And it's not erasing the table because I'm in the layer that belongs to this side table. So if you look at the sides, these are layers. I'm only in this top layer. If I went into this layer, then I can't erase this anymore. So I have to be in that layer to erase it. And so I'm just erasing away the areas that hit that table. And now it looks like it's behind the table versus me having to create layer after layer. And there we go, easy peasy. So I'm going to apply that and then scale back and see how that looks. Not bad. I think this table would look really great round. And I think that having a toddler, as Fabs does, a round table would be really safe once her little one is running around at full speed. And so I want to introduce a round table. Before I do this, someone's may say, well, I don't like this. I don't like the sideboard. I don't want anything over there. Well, here's something else you can do. You can choose to erase this and see how that would look without anything there. I'm actually, going to bring that guy back. I'm just going to move it so that I can use it again. So if I wanted to erase back here just to see what it would look like without it, I'm going to use the clone tool. So there's a clone tool in your edits drop down. So I go to clone. I'm going to use, yeah, that's a good size brush. You can change your brush shapes. I like the round one for now. And what you do is I'm using a Mac, so I press down Command, and I'm going to click. Where it turned green, that's where now my target area to copy is. And you know what, that's a little bit too far. I want to see how that would look. So I'm going to change my brush maybe a little bit more. There we go. So now that area that I've copied, I can clone here. And it's going to copy whatever's in its path. So you have to keep picking and choosing. So I'm going to do Command. I'm going to delete some of this. Maybe I'll go even a little bit bigger. So again, Command click, it's picking that area. And I'm going to erase this. I'm going to use this. You can change the hardness of how hard you want something. And that way it's a little bit more blurry. And then for this area right here where there's base trim, you click that. You just have to keep your angle correct. So when I'm doing this for like a client presentation, I'll take a lot of time and I'll just make sure that it is right on the correct angle. So let's try that again. And I may want a little more hardness. So again, Command, click that area, and that's the area I want to copy. All right, so it just takes a bit of time and a little bit of practice and playing around with that. But I'm just going to scale out so you see what I'm talking about. All right, and you don't have to do that because, you know, if you just wanted to overlay another piece of furniture over it, you didn't need to. But this gives you an idea. Let me apply, scale out. And that way it gives you an idea of like, okay, if there was nothing there, what would I want there? I'm going to keep that. I like this piece of furniture and just going to make sure that that's there. So now that we're here, I'm going to add that table like I wanted to. I'm going to go to photos and videos. I'm going to add a table that I had saved from Pottery Barn. And all you have to do for that is like you go to Pottery Barn, you find the type of table that you would like, or you go to any website. And then I usually either take a screenshot and then, or I'll use a different angle. You sort of have to be wary of which angles of the photos that you're using, depending on where you want it to go. So this is the one that I had downloaded. It comes in, and again, oh, look at that. You need to remove the background, easy. And you're just going to place it where it goes. This, depending on, I had checked out the size before. It was a little bit bigger when it's going to be in the room. You can rotate it. And here it looks like it's sitting in front of this guy. So what do? We are going to erase that part that is in front of here. And that way now it looks like it's sitting behind that couch. Okay, and I may want to go in. I erased a little too much. It makes a difference how much you erase or not. Just it looks more realistic. So I'll just go in and fill that in. Okay. Yeah, I erased a little too much. So if you notice, it's not difficult. All the tools are on the side. It's just making sure to go in with just a detailed eye to do that. Now, that's in its place. I don't know if I would keep this shelf here because what I want to do is put a bigger plant. So to remove that shelf, same thing. I'm going to first go into this layer. Then I'm going to clone. Make that a little bigger. I'm going to clone this part of the wall and then just take out that shelf. Get that shadow out of the way. There we go. So then you can go back and say, okay, that's coming together as I'd like it to. Then I want to put in curtains up here. So I'm going to go to my photos and videos. I'm going to add curtains that I had found online, and I'm going to add these curtains in. So here's the image, and you're thinking, well, how is she going to put this curtain here? The angle is off, the scale is off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it a little bit, not too much. And I'm going to double that up. So I'm going to copy and paste. And I have 2 sets of this and another one here. Turn the angle a little bit more. I'm going to make that bigger. And you're thinking, well, again, how's she going to put it behind it? Well, I used the erase tool for this as well. So very easily just put it behind. I couldn't get the curtain rod to look the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go erase, and I'm going to erase the curtain rod out completely. And then the other one as well, I'm going to erase that. And same with the curtain here. I need to put it behind that couch, right? So I would just erase that out. And I just make sure to get everything that I need out of that image. So it's right behind. Okay.
I see that there is a hand raised. I don't know if that was intentional, but if you guys do have questions for Sunny, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask.
Yes, please. I'd love questions. So if something I'm explaining doesn't make sense, I would love to explain that. I'm just erasing these as I go along. And like I said, if I'm doing this for a client or for a space that I need to see, I'll go in with much more fine tooth. And anything you erase, remember, you can just fill it back in too. So I'm just going to fill back in this area.
Is there a cost to using this program?
This program does have a cost. I think there's a basic. I'll let Fabs answer that. Is there a basic level? Fabs?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself there.
No.
Yeah, so let me pull up our thing because it recently changed, so I don't know it. But our basic plan is $7.99 a month. And then our pro plan is $12.99 a month. Our basic plan is pretty awesome. You know, you can use erase tool, like pretty much everything she's doing here, adding images, erasing, adjusting layers. If you did want to use the background remove tool and other really awesome features, I would recommend the pro SKU. It's $12.99 a month, but totally worth it. Like once you unlock all of the possible, like truly realize all you can create with PicMonkey, you get your worth real quick. So yeah, it's either $12.99 a month for pro or $7.99 for basic.
Thank you.
You got it.
Good question. All right, so yeah, so all I did was just erase that and move that to the back. So I will fill this back in. And then for the top, the curtain rod, so you can go and look up a curtain rod that you think would suit the space and just bring that in and make that fit into this area. What I did actually for Fabs' place, I just used a graphic. So I went and I picked up basic and I picked up this rectangular tool. I made it really thin, extended it. And then, believe it or not, that's all. So I just turned it. Lost my, there we go. If you click off of it, just go back to your layer by clicking. So then make that even thinner. So essentially in the photo that I showed you of the after, I used that thin rectangular tool to give it a graphic so you can get an idea. It's, it's a visual representation of what I would want there. But you can definitely pick one out from, a store that you've seen. If they have it long enough, you can put that in there. So I'm moving that in. If it doesn't match up completely, then I'll go in here. Then, I'll twist and adjust these things here. Now, let's leave that as it is. I don't want to take up too much time making little adjustments. I'm going to go into photos and I want to add a seat here. I think it would, her space would benefit from having some extra seating on the side. So I'm going to go back to computer. I had downloaded some different angles of these chairs from Target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in here. And then I'm going to change the angle. So I'll go to image tools on this side and I'll flip it horizontally and I'll put that here. And the angle looks a little off to me. So I'll go back and I will sometimes try the different angle and see if that's better. So I'll take that out and put this one in, make it a little bit bigger and flip that around too. Yeah, I think that angle is better for the space, for how I want it to look. So I'll put that here. That one doesn't need too many adjustments. Easy peasy, that's in there. That does show me that for the scale of this room, remember, this area is much closer to the person taking the photograph. So things are going to seem bigger over here. This might be a little bit too big. So I'll just move that up.
A quick question from Sona. It looks like she
Mhm.
herself. Yes. So the question is, I see all the tools on the left. Is this a newer PicMonkey? PicMonkey has recently made some IA changes that just have made our UI look a little bit different and better because if you can remember the like when you click on layers, it was kind of a pop-up panel, and when you change the color of something, it was a pop-up panel. There was a lot of floating panels and UIs. Right now, we moved everything to the left, and all you have to do to get that view is on the bottom of the left panel, you'll see like we're moving, it's like a little message that says like we're changing things up or something, and you just have to opt in. You just have to say like, yeah, show me around, like I want to do it, and it'll do this. But it's really an effective way to work because you don't have constant pop-ups all the time. It's been really, really awesome. I really like it.
I do as well. I agree because I was resistant. I didn't click on the pop-up for a long time until I watched a tutorial with someone else that you had on here, Fabs. And then I was like, whoa, I need this.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Once you get used to it, it's like pretty game changing. It's really nice to have.
Yeah.
So we had another message that it's just
Mhm.
a fun call out. PicMonkey has so many cool features I would never thought of using, wouldn't have never thought of before. I love seeing it used this way by Sunny. And Laura also thinks it's awesome to do staging virtually. Never thought about doing it virtually. So
Super.
thumbs up all around.
Yeah, I'm so glad everybody's here. These are like my like-minded people, you know. Being a space and playing around with it can be so fun, and it really doesn't need to be difficult. So when I do these sometimes for people, you know, it's time consuming. So there's the benefit of being able to, let's say, provide this as a service to someone, but it's definitely not difficult once you get used to the program and once you, you know, take the time to just look at all the little details. You realize, okay, it's more detail oriented, more time, more time. I guess it can be a time suck too, because there are certain things that I like, that I love, and I just keep going on and on and on. So being able to like edit and know when to stop on something is important too.
Yeah.
There are just so many fun features. So there's a table, I've moved that in there, sorry, the chair, and then I'm going to put a table next to it. So sometimes I'll try a different table and I don't like it. I'm going to, I do know I like this one, this. And for me, myself, I like to mix up materials and I like organic feel, but you know, you can bring in anything, and you can also maybe change colors. So maybe this is the only photo you found online, but you have seen it in the store in a different color. So I have been known to maybe change the color a little bit sometimes, and you can do that in a few different ways. There is a color changer tool, and how that works is here, basically, I mean, this is gray, so it's a little bit harder, but basically, let's say this was orange, you pick orange, and anything that's orange in that picture, you can change the color. So this one has some orange tones, so it changes it up for you a little bit. It's more gray, so I'll say blue, and then you can change that a little bit. But actually, I think this changed it a little bit more. So yeah, so there are options for being able to change some things around. For staging, I usually try to find the image that I need because, or if it's for like a client, I know that it's something that I can send them a link to and say, hey, I found this table at Pottery Barn. This is what it looks like in your space. And that's, you know, here's the link. Go get that if you'd like. So this color changer tool is available, but I don't need it at this moment. So I'm not going to change that. I am going to add a couple more items.
Sunny, this reminds me when my husband and I built our house, we would go to model homes and look at how it was like furnished and stuff because we were like, they're the pros, like they're the ones that stage these model homes, like we should be copying them. And I feel like I'm having like a one-on-one with the pro.
Awesome.
It's awesome. And I have a question here from Laura. She says, this question for Sunny, do you charge a flat fee for the service and then give them a list of affiliate products they can purchase?
Yeah, I usually personally do a flat fee. It saves me time and having to like actually go and source or worry about things getting to people's homes. They order and it's just easier for me that way. But you will find the clients that don't have time or patience in going to, every link that you've sent them. So they may choose more for you to be able to source something. But I'm not the type that would charge per item. I just find that's a lot more headache for me and trying to keep upkeep, especially now when things are out of stock. But yeah, you can give that option where, here's your list, but if you're not going to go through ordering them, I can do that for you for a certain fee as well. So I'm just going ahead and accessorizing. And again, all I'm doing is going to my computer, picking the different images I've picked, and I move things around. This one needs the background removed. So I'm just going to remove that by pressing remove background. I didn't have that feature for a long time. And once I had it, it was total game changer. So very happy with that. I'm gonna put that guy here.
I have a question about the browser that you're using. It looks like she's using Safari. Is that correct?
Yeah, it'd probably be better in like Chrome. I love my Safari. It's always open. So
I think you're having someone is having a question about crashing. I use Chrome and I never have trouble with crashing. It doesn't look like Sunny's is. Maybe Firefox. I have heard that Firefox can crash quite a bit. So maybe try Safari or Chrome.
Yeah, at Safari, I haven't had a problem with it crashing, but I don't usually have too many tabs open, and I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure why it hasn't been crashing. My computer also has a lot of memory, so I've been saving all of these images. Like I save them as they come in, and then I'll put them into different folders for my clients, so it's easier to just be able to pull them up when I need to. But yeah, I think Chrome is the suggested. When I first looked it up on what you should be using, I think Chrome was the one. So I'm just gonna.
If you continue to have troubles, you can totally email our support team. It's help@PicMonkey, and they're typically really responsive and really good at getting a quick fix for you. And then I have another question here about a list of these classes. You're new and getting confused when doing your own design. There are, if you want staging specific tutorials, Sunny has a ton on her IGTV, so you can definitely go to her Instagram. It is positively
strong living.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can definitely go there for. She has really, really wonderful tutorials and classes. She goes at a really good pace, has really good tips. And then if you are just looking for PicMonkey related tutorials for using the product, you can also find those on our YouTube. We have a whole one-on-one section. We have all the tutorials that you can think of. So if you're looking for staging specific though, I would definitely recommend going to Sunny's Instagram.
Thank you. Yeah, my Instagram, my IGTV, what I do is my followers can send me submissions and it'll be one photo. I don't really consult with them. I just give them what I think the room would need. And I'll do that for free, and it creates myself some content. And it's really nice to be able to use PicMonkey for that. And it's fast and I have something. So my IGTVs, I usually just undo. So I create the image and then I'll undo and I'll take away. I find most of my viewers just want to see the after. They don't really care about the process of how to do it. But I was really excited to be able to do this tutorial because I do get messages later, people being like, how to use this program. I'll tell them it's PicMonkey, but they won't know how to go about it. And then I'm like, okay, so just now let's talk about how we can create this. Now here I have
a mind blown at my living room right now, by the way. It's like,
what do you have? Sorry?
I'm mind blown at my living room right now, what you're creating. It looks so good.
Well, what I did, you're in Florida, right? So I thought a birds of paradise might look really nice here. I do like the olive tree, and in the after photo, I have the bigger version of the olive tree in there. But what I want to do is right now add this bird of paradise, just so you can see what that would look like. So because this bird of paradise, I want to put it behind the what do you call it? The sideboard right here. You don't have to go about erasing it. You can move it behind the sideboard by moving your layer. So what I do is I take my bird of paradise and I literally move it to behind the sideboard. So I changed my layers all the way around. There we go. So you see that? I put it behind it. And then the scale looks a little bit big, so I may just make that a little bit smaller and then do that. And now you see behind it, you're going to be able to see all of those things. That's a time when I would probably go in and clone some of those out in my background and make sure that I can't really see that when I put something else in front of it. So I'm already in the background layer. I'm going to go to edits, go to the clone tool, make that a little bit bigger. The size a bit bigger. I'm going to press command, copy that, and then take those out. And usually, again, I will do it kind of slower, make sure I'm matching up the shadows a lot of times. So I'm much more detail oriented when I'm doing this for a client, or I'm doing this for myself, or if I'm going to be posting this somewhere. Corners, I always line up my arrows, my target, and that way I can get the corner angle nice and sharp. Okay. And now, so I'm going to apply that. Now when that plant goes back in, I don't have to worry about the stuff in the background. And if this angle seems too big, yeah, that looks a little bit large. I'm going to move that a little bit over and move that out. And if I want to delete some of, or not delete, but fill in some of this, so I found the erase, there we go, we're going to fill it in. So I'll do that. So I think the best way is just to keep playing around and try like a random room. Sometimes I'll try like very difficult rooms, like very messy rooms, and just challenge myself to see what I can sort of clear out. And that helps with learning the clone tool. But that's pretty much it. And I think I hit the half-hour mark. I was like timing it to make sure that this would take about half an hour. I didn't add as much. Oh, you can add a chandelier as well. So let's try something a little bit more like boho, maybe. I'm going to remove that background.
Now we need to make some living room updates.
No, I actually don't think you need a chandelier, but this lets you see all of those options.
Possibilities, yeah.
So I don't know, that's a little too boho. I feel like your space is a little bit more sophisticated. So I may go for like a different, and you can choose a few at the same time. So just choosing a bunch. So let's try really boho. So there's something like that you could do. There is a little bit more formal. It's a little bit big. These, I've worked with these chandeliers before, like this one is 2 feet across. So I can usually think about the scale. For myself, I'm a very, I'm a very spatial thinker. So I know that 2 feet across would look about this size if I was looking at something from this angle, but you may need to do some trial and error to figure out sizes. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll look up let's say if it's a brand new chandelier I've never worked with before, I'll look up the dimensions, and then I would look up the dimensions of something else, either within the room, you know, a couch arm handle is usually 3 feet, 2 to 3 feet. So I'll know how to gauge the scale because of something else. But that again takes just practice and trial and error, and you'll be able to do that the more you play with it. This is the Cameron light. This also is about 2 feet across. So again, I usually can tell the spatial planning based on something else I've used in the room. Okay.
So awesome.
So I hope that's helpful. Any questions?
Do you ever do any, so say you wanted to like get this as cohesive, this is just me being a Power PicMonkey user, but maybe have you tried flattening? What if you do flatten layers and you can't go back and make changes, but once you're super, super, super done with something, or you can command all, have you ever applied like subtle effects to something to make it look kind of like all cohesive?
You know what? I have like downloaded them as one layer. So especially when I send it to someone, I usually don't want them playing around with my designs. So I'll use it as like a JPEG and I'll send it. But no, that's a good idea. I mean, I usually try to lighten a picture before I
Before
work
you
with
put
it,
things in. Yeah.
before I work with it. So everything I put in there is correct. But you're right. And I mean, the nice thing about this is that even afterwards, you can go in and see your layers
Mm-hmm.
and then decide to lighten that. So I'll go to edit and you can change the exposure, really brighten that up.
To like kind
But
of match the images you're.
yeah, but you're right. Changing that up makes it look way more realistic too, especially if you're using it for like staging.
Mhm.
Being able to get all of the images to say, have sort of the same lighting,
Mhm.
that changes that up nicely.
Just for our viewers, if you do select multiple layers, what's cool about that is that you can actually do apply the same effect to multiple layers. So if you command A or hold shift and select them all, you can go ahead and go to like effects and add maybe like one really, really, really subtle, like an effect, or yeah, you can even do that. You can do really any effect you want to do to it. You can do to all of them. So like if we did a little bit of that, you can apply it and fade it. So it all kind of has the same tone, the same feel, so that it looks a little bit more like it really is all in the same room. So that's just a little fun tip.
It's a great tip. Yeah. You know, the more you explore, the more you can come up with different things that work with you, with your style better too. So yeah, I like that, Fabs. Thank you.
Fun.
Yeah.
This has been so, so, so awesome. I just want to remind everyone that if you do want to go back and watch this, we are going to host it on our YouTube channel, and we'll also link it in Instagram as well. So you can just go back and watch it at your own pace. You can pause and rewatch whatever you need to, but definitely give Sunny a follow. She has some really, really wonderful content, super talented stylist, and very talented PicMonkey user. I'm very impressed with your tutorial. I've been doing PicMonkey tutorials for a long time, and you were exceptional. That was awesome.
That's so sweet. Well, thank you. I'd love to meet all of you at Possibly Strong Living on Instagram. So please, if you come and find me there, send me a message. I'd love to say hi, and I'd love to, chat if you ever need to. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sunny, and thank you everybody for joining us today. I wish you all a happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday, huh? Fast week.
That's right. Week's almost done.
Yes.
Thanks,
all right, everyone. Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.